What is up, guys? Welcome back for another video. Right now I'm here in Phuket, Thailand with the man Ephraim, young man who moved from Australia and opened up a business here in Thailand. Hey man, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So if you want to quickly just introduce yourself first.
Okay, my name's Ephraim. I'm from Australia, as he's mentioned. I own the Float Room. It's a sensory deprivation business, or a float tank business out here in Patong, located about a 2-minute walk from Junsilong.
Okay, nice. So before we get into like why you started this business or whatnot, I want to know what led you to Thailand. Like, what was your life like in Australia before you came here, and how long have you been here as well?
Well, I've been here for 9 months now. My life in Australia, I finally got to a pretty comfortable stage. I had a job in demolition estimating, so it was calculations all day, that kind of things. And then what led me here is I came here for a 2-week holiday with some friends. I loved Thailand, I loved Phuket, fell in love. I met my girl over here, she lives over here. And yeah, I was like, man, I gotta come back here. This is a life that I can. Yeah.
So before the visit, had Thailand ever been somewhere you thought you would live, or was this something that just came like later in life?
That's a good question. I think this is the only place that I have visited and was like, yeah, I could definitely see myself living here.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So if you could compare life in Australia to like life in Thailand, because I've never been to Australia, I don't really have an idea what it's like to live there, what the economy is like, or just day-to-day life in comparison to here or even in America.
Sheesh. Well, that's an interesting question. I would say life in Australia is pretty good. Yeah, it's good. We've got everything, especially in Melbourne. We've got one of the greatest cities in Australia. So I've got nothing bad to say about Australia at all. I just like the freedom in Thailand.
Right.
I love the closeness that Phuket has. Being able to get on your motorbike and go anywhere, that kind of freedom. Like, yeah, I just love Thailand for.
What has it been difficult, like adjusting to being here, like away from your family, maybe your friends back home?
I do miss my friends. I do miss my family. It is a little tough at times, but I've always kind of been an independent person. So
right.
It doesn't really faze me. I'm always on the phone with my mom and
right.
my family. So
yeah, technology allows us to stay in touch these days, so it makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's get into the Float Room. So obviously, you just described what it is and whatnot, but what made you choose this business of choice?
Okay, so what made me choose a float tank business is I had a great experience in a float tank one time. I was really stressed that day. I booked in a float session. It was my first time. I fell in love with it. I thought this was awesome. I did want to open up one in Australia, but man, the overheads, the regulations, everything that you're going to have to deal with opening up a business in Australia is going to be 10 times harder than it is here in Thailand. I just found it much easier here. Everything was a lot cheaper. So, and it was an adventure as well.
Okay.
And it's something good that's, you know, that does good for the community. I mean, like, people, this is something where people can come and relax and detox all that stress. So I thought, hey, if I'm going to give back to people and do business, do it in a good way. I mean,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to ask you is, from idea to conception to the business being here and you getting open, how long did that process take, and like how difficult was it? What were some of the steps and hoops you had to go through to get this open?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. Doing business in Thailand is not straightforward, I'll tell you that right now. There are cultural barriers that you're going to have to encounter. But how long you said? I'd say it took me about 7 months.
7 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it took me about a month or so to open up, to find the location, a month or two. The biggest problem I encountered was trying to source a float tank.
Okay.
Yeah, that was tricky.
Okay, and when opening a business, did you have to go through like an agency have to help you do that, or like a business lawyer here or something?
No, well, my girlfriend has a background in law. She's got her law degree and whatnot. and she has a ton of business experience.
Wow.
So when I met her and I expressed to her that I loved Phuket, she told me, hey, look, you can come back anytime you want and I'll help you set up whatever you want. And I knew she had the experience to help me. So yeah, she's helped me from A to Z. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, man. Well, that makes life a lot easier to have someone like that to help you out.
Definitely, definitely.
What were some of the biggest costs that went into opening this business?
I think the biggest cost was the float tank. Apart from that, it was just construction.
Okay.
We had to build this wall that's behind us now, and we had to fit out the whole shop. Besides that, those were probably the two biggest expenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, as a business owner, now that you're kind of based here, what type of visa situation did you apply for as a business owner?
So I've got this shop, so I'm entitled to one working permit.
Okay.
That can be stepped up if you pump more money into the business, and that will give you 2 working visas.
Okay.
So it depends how much you've pumped into the business, how much you've financed the business.
Okay. Is there like any minimums?
I think 2 million baht is a minimum.
2 million baht is a minimum. Okay.
And they'll give you 1 working permit.
Okay. And how long does the permit last for?
I'm pretty sure it's like
Just kind of like indefinitely?
Exactly.
As long as your business is up and operating,
yeah.
the working permit is it something you have to like constantly renew though? Like, or does like immigration come and check your business like every 3 months or something to?
That's a good question. I do have to report every 3 months.
Okay.
So I'm due in June to go and report. Apart from that, I couldn't tell you the ins and outs of that specifically, just because my girlfriend handles all that. If there's something that I need to go do, she'll tell me, hey, you got to go to immigration, and she might come with me, and yeah, she helps me sort everything out.
Nice, dope. So what advice would you give to someone, one, who's just thinking about moving to Thailand, and two, someone who's thinking about moving and opening up a business? Like, what advice would you have for them?
Patience.
Patience. Patience
is key. In Australia, we like to get things done like this is A, B, C. Whereas over here, they've got kind of a kickback mentality. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, it's a vibe out here, so why wouldn't you have a kickback mentality? But yeah, patience, like especially with construction and fit outs, you're gonna have to have patience and yeah, just go with the flow sometimes. And I was warned beforehand as well by someone else that opened up a float center in Bangkok. I should have listened a little bit more, but he did tell me, and I did take that on board, so that helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that's pretty helpful. And now that you've lived here for like 9 months, what other businesses or needs do you think might be needed here for Phuket business-wise? Like, do you see any other opportunities that you've maybe identified?
I want to get into unique Airbnbs.
Okay.
Unique stays, like not just a hotel, but some kind of like a vibe out in nature. So I want to get into that. That's something I also wanted to get into in Australia. So these things that I'm looking at getting into here are things that I wanted to do back home.
Okay.
But now that I've got my girlfriend who can handle the legal side, because I feel like that's something that I was lacking.
Right.
So yeah, as I say, you should partner with people that are strong where you're weak, right? So yeah, Airbnb.
Nice. So as you guys can see, one of the important things is you have to come out here and get a girlfriend who can help you out. Get a girlfriend with some business experience.
For sure.
And I guess it can make your life a lot easier.
A lot easier.
So is there anything else you guys want the audience to know about the float room or just about yourself?
Well, I like to float 3 or 4 times a week. If I've got something that I need to overcome, if I've got like a problem, I usually just jump in there for an hour or 2, and it kind of sorts my brain out. Whatever problem that I've gone in there with, in that hour or so, yeah, my brain's just able to figure it out and stress less and just get into like that inner peace. So if you haven't tried it, wherever you are, I would highly recommend you have a float.
Thank you for coming on the channel. It's been dope interviewing you.
Appreciate it.
So you guys have a little bit of business insight. So if you think about moving to Thailand and you want to possibly connect with Ephraim, where should they find you at?
You can go to the Float Room, Phuket, all underscores between. You can find me on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook. I handle the social media, so you'll be talking directly to me. Yeah, any questions or anything, or if you're in town, come see me. I'm easy to talk to, so I can help you with whatever.
And all the information for the business and his contact will be below in the description. So if you come to Phuket, do be sure to check it out. And as always, we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.